I remember watching Dimitri Payet growing up. He was one of those players that would get every football fan excited no matter which team you supported. Magic, beauty, flair, all combined in his game. He had a peak where every fan knew about him and tuned in to watch, when he was in highlight reels across the whole internet. And then he kind of just disappeared. Then, on 22nd of March 2026, he announced his retirement from football. I gotta be honest, this news caught me by surprise. I realized I wasn't following much of his late career stages. I watched a clip of him announcing his retirement while he was in tears. I remembered all the highlights from his career. I wanted to make this video to shortly go over that career. He does not have the trophy cabinet of a legend, he never played at the most prestigious clubs of modern football, but yet, his retirement struck a bigger nerve than many other ones I've heard about in recent times. He was that good. He could produce moments that fans would remember for years. That is why the streets will never forget Dimitri Payet. I will never forget Dimitri Payet. But I am here to ask a question. How good was he actually? The first thing that comes to mind when I think of Dimitri Payet is that one 2015-16 season at West Ham and then the following Euro 16 in the summer. He arrived to West Ham from Marseille for around £10 million. He was already in his late 20s as a 28-year-old. He was not seen as a youngster with a lot of upside, he was seen as an experienced veteran who had shown a lot of promise in the French league. I'm guessing West Ham fans had really high hopes for him. That season went amazing for him. He had 9 goals in Premier League, 12 in all competitions, and then he had 12 assists as well. He was tied for third most in the Premier League that season, with Mesut Ozil being first, Christian Eriksen being second, and he was tied with Dusan Tadic afterwards. Which, to be fair, Dusan Tadic deserves a video like this on his own. He created a lot of chances, contributed a lot of key passes, and he ended up with a lot of assists as well. And let's be honest here, if he had a good offensive rotation around him, he would have probably had more assists as well. For that one season, he was in that discussion with top playmakers in the Premier League, some of the legends of the game. He also had some individual awards as well. He was in the Premier League Team of the Year, he was also shortlisted for PFA Player of the Year, and probably he captured the hearts of all West Ham fans that season as well. That season truly was elite, a performance of an elite playmaker. Then let's go on to the summer, Euro 2016. The first game against Romania carried a lot of pressure for France. They were the host nation, they were the favorites to win the competition, and they weren't even beating Romania in the first game of the opening. Then, in late stages, Dimitri Payet scored a beautiful goal to win the game for France. He captured the hearts of France fans that night as well. He went on to score 3 goals total in that season, and he was included in the team of the tournament as well. It was a beautiful tournament, although France did not end up winning, unfortunately for him. He finished 17th in 2016 Ballon d'Or rankings. It is true he only had 1 point, but hey, for a West Ham player, that's still an improvement. This is also when rumors started emerging of Real Madrid being interested in Dimitri Payet. It is interesting to know that Dimitri Payet's career highlights aren't only from that one season in the Premier League. He is one of the legends in French Ligue 1 as well. He currently holds the all-time record for most assists in the competition, and he is the only player in French league history to go over 100 total assists. When you look at the graph, it's interesting to see that the second placeholder, Angel Di Maria, is not even close. Now I'm not comparing Dimitri Payet and Angel Di Maria. Of course, Dimitri Payet has way more games in League 1 than Angel Di Maria has. But it's still interesting to know that he's way ahead of the second place as well. He also has been in the League 1 team of the season 2 times. He's an absolute legend for League 1 as well, not just that one season at West Ham. He also scored over 100 goals and produced a lot of memorable moments. But let's go beyond the statistics. What was so captivating to watch about his game? To me, it was the flair. It is what makes you remember a player like this, a streets will never forget type player. Of course, he had some seasons with impressive statistics, but I don't think that's the most memorable part of his career. It's the moments of flair, the moments of beauty, the moments that get you excited as a fan, and moments that you remember for years after. He played with this creativity and freedom that is oftentimes lacking in modern football. He would attempt the craziest passes, the craziest distance shots or free kick shots. I still remember that Rabona assist he gave to Michael Antonio. It was beautiful, and to be honest, off the top of my head, I don't remember the last time I've seen a player do that. And let's get back to his free kicks, which were absolutely stunning. In the period between August 2015 and September 2016, Payet scored 5 different free kicks, only on 30 attempts. That's a conversion rate of around 16%. Now, that might not say a lot, but comparingly, in the same window, Lionel Messi scored 7 goals from free kicks, which is 2 more than Payet, but he attempted double the free kicks. Cristiano Ronaldo, over 40 attempts and only 4 goals, one behind Payet. Now, I'm not saying Payet is the best free kick shooter of all time, but I think he should be in the discussion for sure. Especially considering not just the sheer conversion rate and number of goals he scored from free kicks, but how beautiful they were. Go back and watch the free kicks he scored against Crystal Palace or Manchester United. They're beautiful, they're unexpected. Well, they become expected after a while of watching Payet, but in that moment, they were unexpected and they were beautiful and they produced a memorable moment that showcased how beautiful the game can be. Something unthinkable, crazy, always in the top corner, never missed top corner. It was amazing. There is a funny story once when he was asked about his secret with free kicks, and he said he stopped practicing because he was happy with how he was taking the free kicks already. Which, fair play, he was taking them in a very good way, scoring a lot of them. There are players in my mind that I know scored a lot of goals, but I don't remember them specifically, or I only remember a few specifically. When it comes to Dimitri Payet, he didn't score a lot, but I remember so many of his goals. They all left me in shock watching it, and that is what I liked about him the most. He was memorable, he was free, he was creative. West Ham players would give him the ball and just watch and wait for him to create something, and he could do that. However, that was also partially what contributed to his downfall in the later stages. He needed the ball at his feet, he needed complete creative freedom, and once he was put in a system where he was only able to contribute in a specific way, his game kind of fell apart. None of that should take away from the magic he produced on the pitch and the memorable stories he created, but it is important to go to this part as well. Why did Dimitri Payet never win anything? Why did Dimitri Payet never move to a prestigious club? What was lacking in his game that held him back? Especially considering that there was clear interest from top clubs like Real Madrid, for example, after Euro 2016. There is one clear argument that jumps out right away, and something I mentioned as well. It's his age. When he finally broke out and had his prime year, he was already in his late 20s. Prestigious teams don't often try to build around aging superstars or stars. But he wasn't that old. I don't think that explains the whole story. So there are other things you find out about his career once you dig deeper. His work rate was questioned a lot. He was seen as a player who doesn't press defenders, doesn't take many chances to get the ball back for his team. Probably he was trying to conserve his energy for once he got the ball to create the offense. But in the modern age, especially in that period, mid 2010s was the turning point when gegenpressing was becoming more and more common and more coaches were expecting their offensive players to constantly press defenders. That is when Dimitri Payet broke out and he was an offensive player who required the ball at his feet and complete creative freedom, who also didn't have high work rate and he wouldn't press defenders. He was not seen as the ideal prototype for modern football by many coaches or clubs, which probably contributed to why he never got that big move to a big club. That, of course, combines with his age. You have to look at it from the perspective of prestigious clubs. Do you think Real Madrid would build around a 29-year-old who always needs the ball at his feet and needs to be the star, but also doesn't do the black work, doesn't go at defenders trying to get the ball back? When you look at it from that lens, it makes sense why he never got the move. He also had drama later in his career. In February 2016, he signed a new contract with West Ham and accepted a loyalty bonus along with it. However, later, once he became unhappy and once he got bored, he was forcing a move out of the club back to Marseille, to his previous club. Once you combine everything with the fact that he also had attitude problems, that just became a complete red flag to all top teams, and nobody really wanted him anymore. However, this story also brings out why Dimitri Payet was so captivating to watch. He wanted to leave West Ham because he said that football didn't give him pleasure anymore. He was too bored. And that perfectly describes what Dimitri Payet was. He was never boring. He was never one to follow a system that wasn't entertaining to watch. He was the system. He was the source of creativity, and he wanted complete freedom to do what he wanted on the pitch, which would result in great, great moments for the fans. But unfortunately, not recipe for a player who can become a legend with the highest ranked teams and the best trophies. Dimitri Payet wasn't a highlight reel that got lucky. I think he was one of the better, if not the best, creators of his generation. A playmaker with flair, a dying breed of football players. He just broke out at the wrong time. He needed a very specific set of tools and conditions to be that successful, and unfortunately, modern football wasn't able to give him that. I don't think his career is a sad one. Many fans will probably think it is because he never won any major trophies, never got that big move to a very prestigious club. But I think he just wanted to have the creative freedom to play entertaining football, to enjoy playing, and he just followed his dreams. His dream wasn't maybe winning something specific, or maybe it was, but more than that, it was being able to create entertaining chances, entertaining plays, memorable moments, and he was going where he could have done that, to play entertaining football and nothing boring. His playing style and his attitude was a reason why there was never a place for him at the most prestigious clubs, but it's also the reason why there will always be place for him in the hearts of the fans.